paranoid. Hi, I am so glad you're here. What is on my camera? Did I get paint all over my camera? I did. Oh no. As you all know, it's October, which means it's spooky season, which means it's time to get spooky. I have been very excited about the projects I have planned for October, and I planned them months ago. Planned sounds a little more concrete than what I did. I wrote down the concept months ago. As I've said in previous videos, I love Halloween and I love fairy tales. So I thought it would be fun to take some fairy tales and nursery rhymes and put a little Halloween twist on some of them. I should be wearing a witch hat. Why am I not wearing a witch hat? If I don't wear my witch hats in October, when am I going to wear them? I'm very proud of this hat because I wore it out on Halloween last year and it snowed the wettest, heaviest snow I've ever seen on Halloween. And I literally had an ice sheet on the brim of this hat. She has withstood a Midwest Halloween and I'm proud of her for that. This week's project is inspired by Little Miss Muffet. I feel for Little Miss Muffet. I too would drop anything I'm doing to get away from a spider. And I have. But since it's spooky season and I want to get a little bit spooky, we're going to do Little Miss Muffet with a bit of a twist. And I'm going to be completely honest, a big part of this was inspired by watching Dimension 20's Neverafter campaign this summer, which I loved because, again, I love fairy tales and nursery rhymes, and the twists they put on these fairy tales and nursery rhymes I just thought was brilliant, and it's right up my alley. So I'd like to do my own version of Little Miss Muffet. I want Little Miss Muffet to look like she's undergone a transformation. Similar to how bites from a werewolf or a vampire can turn the victim into a werewolf or a vampire. What if she got bitten by the spider and then became this half spider, half girl monster? This is the sketch that I have. It has gone through a few different versions and I've tweaked a few things here and there. And while reading about Miss Muffet and the history of Muffet and what is a tuffet and all of these things, I came across this John Everett Millais, I don't know how you say his name, his version of Little Miss Muffet, and I went down a rabbit hole of this man's work because I did not know he painted Ophelia, which is one of my favorite paintings ever. And I just started going through all of his work, like a list of his paintings, and found out that I have a new favorite painter. After I found his version of Little Miss Muffet, I decided to make the dress longer, like the little girls in his painting, as well as making the sleeves a bit longer. But I'm honestly not 100% sure on the sleeves just yet because I would like to make myself a couple extra arms. Have I ever made myself a couple extra appendages before? No. The other features I'm adding to her are extra eyes on the forehead and some fangs protruding from her face. It's been a while since I've done any special effects makeup, and it's been a while since I've done any sort of prosthetics. The last time did not go very well. I tried to do a Creature of the Black Lagoon look for Halloween, and she got the job done, I guess. So I'm a little bit nervous about doing the special effects on my face, probably more so than I am nervous about making the extra appendages. I am going to do the reveal a little bit differently, but that's a long ways off, so to get there we have to get to work. the dress is basically done. I might add some more little details here and there, but it's basically done. I tried it on and the fit was a little loose, so I took it in at the shoulders and on the sides. I thought I had something else to tell you, but I don't remember what it was. So I guess we'll figure that out tomorrow. So I'll see you then. Hello! It's the next day. Another day, another witch hat. So the basic construction of the dress is done. I think I'm gonna add some ribbons on the sleeves, maybe a spider in the middle of the dress. And what I'd like to do today in general is figure out all of those accessories. I need to fix the bonnet. The bonnet did not work, but I think I know how to fix it, so that shouldn't take long. And the biggest part of what I want to figure out today is the extra arms. While I think extra human arms would look cool, I just don't think I have the material to do that very well right now. What I have is some extra velvet that I didn't use on the skirt. So I think I'm going to use that to make some fuzzy spider arms. I think I'm going to make each arm separate and attach them with some hook and eyes so that they're able to move and be pulled up when I lift my arms. Now, as far as attaching it to my arm, I think I'm going to wear some black gloves, or maybe white gloves, or maybe gray gloves. I don't have gray gloves. No, black gloves. I'm going to just attach them to some black gloves with some of my clear polyester thread. Hopefully it'll be strong enough to lift them, and I'll just stuff them with polyfill. The construction of the arms is just going to be a tube, and I might just cut the legs into the shape of a spider leg to begin with so that they're already in a sort of bent shape. And then if we get the arms done, I'd like to start making the prosthetics. Now, I say prosthetics, it's nothing fancy. What I'm planning on doing is making some hot glue eyeballs and attaching them with latex, hoping that that will work, and then making some fangs to come off of my face. I won't be able to be very expressive. I won't be able to move my mouth very much or raise my eyebrows. I didn't think about that. The hot glue eyeballs, I'm just going to use a resin mold that I have that has different oval shaped molds in it. And then for the fangs, I'm just going to make an aluminum foil base and mold onto it with some foam clay so that it's lightweight. And then hopefully I'll be able to attach that with latex as well. So the plan for today is making all of the accessories and appendages. So I'm gonna get to work. The arms have been attached and fixed just a little bit with some help from my mom, who had to hold it up while I sewed everything into place. I messed with the bonnet a little bit too and sort of kind of fixed it. It'll basically just be pinned into place. I made all the eyes. I sculpted the fangs. It should work, I hope. I still have to attach some of the accessories to the dress, but other than that, it's all done, which means it's time for the reveal. Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet, eating her curds and whey. Along came a spider. It dropped down to bite her, then scurried and hurried away. Little Miss Muffet abandoned her tuffet, now on the hunt for prey. For Muffet craves you to bite, drink, and chew, instead of her curds and whey. That went well. I'm honestly surprised that it took only 2 days. I was really anticipating this taking at least 4 if something went wrong, and something did, but I was able to think of a solution pretty quickly. But I got the dress done in a day, and the bonnet. The bonnet worked only when I pinned it into place. It cannot stay up on its own. So that's one thing. If I ever have to make another bonnet in the future for whatever reason, I'll probably buy a pattern. I like how the dress turned out. I really expected something to go wrong with the arms, but to my surprise and great delight, nothing went wrong, which I'm very happy about. I had to have my mom come and help me by putting on the glove and holding her arm up so that I could attach the arms at certain points to make everything stay where it's supposed to. So thank you, Mom. As far as the prosthetics go, the hot glue eyes worked, though I don't know if I would recommend using chunks of hot glue for a prosthetic like that because they were very dense and very heavy. I was always kind of afraid of them falling off, and because the backs are so flat, it was a very smooth surface for the latex to just very easily peel off of. That being said, it didn't happen. It started to pull a little bit when I was applying the makeup, especially trying to get in between. I wish I had spaced them out just a little bit more because it was kind of hard to get the brush in between the eyeballs to cover the latex, but it worked. Was it the cleanest application of prosthetics? No. But I'm not a professional, and I'm making this up as I go. So I think it looked pretty good, all things considered. As for the fangs, for once I was about 80% positive that the fangs would work. That 20% was really just, have I created a surface to which the latex can seep in and stick to, and that's a yes. The little canvas circles I added to the fangs did work for that purpose. The other part of that 20% was the placement on my face. Is moving my face going to cause them to fall off? And surprisingly, the answer is no. The placement on the apple of my cheek, I think that's what you call it, like the little apple, the fleshiest bit, that wasn't the problem. The problem actually was that they were too heavy. It started pulling on the right cheek before the left cheek, but when I started applying the makeup around the edge, I noticed that this one had come completely up from about here to here, and I could feel the weight pulling. So applying them directly to my face was no longer an option. I probably could have gotten away with a couple minutes of filming with the fangs stuck to my face. They likely would have fallen off during filming, and I would have been very upset. So while I was there applying makeup, I decided to take them off, cleaned all the latex and grease paint off of them, reapplied the makeup on my face. So I decided to attach the fangs to 2 pieces coming out from my mouth, and it worked. Was it the most comfortable solution? No. So I took them off between every shot because it didn't feel very good against my teeth. And I made that spider that I used as a prop the night before filming because once the idea was in my head, I couldn't let it go. So I had to make a little spider friend. His name is Itsy, as in the Itsy Bitsy spider. Oh, but my favorite prop, my magical storybook. At first I wanted to add a title, Fairy Tales and More or something like that, but I thought it would be more fun to keep it a blank book, then it can be used for whatever I need it for. I do think it needs a title, Magic and Miscellany or something like that. Eventually I would like to write the twisted versions into this book, because in the future if I do more Twisted Tales, I can add them to the book. And thank you again to my mom, who was the hands of the storyteller slamming the book down so I could get the shot. I think from this... What was that? Something just fell from my ceiling. The thing is, other than this light that we cannot remove from the ceiling, there's nothing else hanging from the ceiling. So, also, that's what I see whenever I come in the dark. I'm not sure what that was. Hello, I'm editing. I did a whole review thing of all of the scary movies I watched while I was working on this project, but I rambled, I kid you not, for almost an hour. So instead of making you listen to an hour of rambling about all of the good and bad movies I watched, I'll just put the list up on the screen with my ratings. I rated everything out of bats, except for Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. I rated that out of birds. And I'll just put the list up here. There's a list. That's what I watched while working on this. If you have any scary movie recommendations, please let me know. I love scary movies. I don't love slashers, but I do love paranormal scary movies. Let me know if you have any good recs and what your favorite scary movie is. I also forgot to say how pleased I am with everything, so I'll take this moment to say just that. I am very pleased with this project. If you liked this video, you can let me know by hitting the like button, and if you want to see what I'm doing next and join the channel, hit the subscribe button, and if you want to know when I post, hit the notification bell and YouTube will let you know. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!